changes back and forth all night. Which stood out to you?
Back and forth, hard fought. I thought they played really well. I thought our guys hung tough, and then at the end found a way to win. Down 6. Answered. Julius clutch free throw shooting. Jalen made the big 3. Then we got the steal. Then we were getting stops. And I think that's the key for us. So whatever, we just kept saying, find a way to win. Whatever we got to do, let's find a way to win. And guys stepped up at the end, a lot of big plays, but showed a lot of toughness, didn't give in, and just kept fighting.
That late steal from Jalen where he gets into that passing lane and gets the layup, but what did you think of that read that he was able to make on the closeout?
Well, it was a big play because, and the 3 was big because it turned it from 6 to a 1-possession game. And then we were getting stops, and so I think that was huge. Jules was getting fouled, so he goes to the line. He's making, but for us, it's the defense and the rebounding. The rebounding was, again, to win on the road, you got to rebound, and that's the one thing that we're doing right now.
That wide open dunk to make it 104-98. I think you guys had 3 steals in a row after that.
Yeah.
It just seemed like a back-breaking kind of dunk, and the guys didn't give up and right away.
Yeah, and obviously we don't want to give up a dunk in that situation. We always say protect the basket first and then build out. So, it was a good trip. In early start again, be ready to go, and they score. They're hard to guard. They're really skilled guys who can put it on the floor. Halliburton, Nemhart, McConnell put a lot of pressure on you. Buddy Hield is a tough cover, very clever, and doesn't need much space to get a shot off. Matherin is tough to deal with. Turner spreads you out. Nesmith had a big game, so they went small, and that was good for us to see. And when teams go small, we got to pound them.
RJ had a lot of success in the paint tonight, and not just by barreling his way there. A lot of touch shots, clever moves, that kind of stuff. What was working
RJ
well
was
for him?
terrific all around. And reading the game well, and depending upon who's guarding him, he's taking advantage of what he should take advantage of, and he's a tough cover.
Didn't have a field goal all night, and then 3-0-3 left you down 4. It's a big one to bring you guys back into it.
Yeah. And his defense was very good, so he gave us good minutes. I thought Quick's minutes were really good. Isaiah and Jericho, they gave us we got a good burst to start the second quarter. And then every time we got the lead, 8 or 10, we sort of messed around with turnovers, and that hurt us. But that's what they do. They're very good at turning you over. We know we got to take care of the ball, but their shot blocking is problematic, and you want to keep them out of the open floor.
Seeing a 3rd game of a road trip, and not everything's going right today, and it has to really be a grind.
Yeah, just find a way to win. So it's hard to win a game on the road. So to come in and and scratch one out when there wasn't great rhythm to the game. We got to the line 30 times, which I thought was huge for us. So the rebounding, attacking the basket, making our free throws, everything, we needed everything.
How impressed were you with Julius's defense on Halliburton on those 2 possessions?
Yeah, I think he's taken a lot of pride. It's allowing us to do more switching, and that's what I like about RJ, Quentin, and Jules. And when they're small like that, it allows us to do that, and you could probably incorporate Mitch in that and some, and Jericho as well.
What did you think of the job Mitch did down low defensively?
Tremendous. Every game it's protecting the rim, making good decisions, guarding the pick and roll, and then offensively, the offensive rebounding, and then putting pressure on the rim. And so oftentimes they're putting 2 people on them, and that opens it up. We get a tip or scramble, and it's a kick out, and it's a 3. So just keep playing to your strengths, and he's been playing great basketball for us.
Jalen, in the post-game interview with Mike and Clyde, just talked about the composure that this team has, just the calming presence of Jalen down the stretch when the team did fall behind by 6.
Yeah, and the point guard is, it's a leadership position. His job is to manage and control the game. And so I think that's, it's what he does very well. And I think Jules helps with that as well, and RJ does too. But Jalen's the point guard, so he's the guy in charge of all of it.
You look at some teams and they're just like throwing multiple guys at Mitch on the offensive boards. Does that affect your transition defense?
No, I think that because we always say like it's everything is a shared responsibility. So we got to protect the basket first. You don't have a man. You protect our basket, and then we go from there. Then find the ball, mark the shooter, stop the ball, build your wall, do all the things that you need to do to have a sound defense. We got to take that part away and build out the shell. And then whatever it is we're doing, whether it's defensive transition, pick and roll, catch and shoot, low post, it's building out your shell.
What I mean more, I guess, maybe I phrased it weird, is like when they're sending multiple guys at Mitch, they're not necessarily able to leak out and get out as much. As
for
much
sure.
As that? Is there a correlation there?
Probably so. I think the running teams, and that's the one thing I think they've done great this year is they really push the pace, and they score early in the clock, and so. And they have the ability, because of the versatility of their roster, to go big and small, and you have to be able to handle both lineups.
You guys now have the second highest winning percentage on the road of it. I think only the Celtics have a better winning percentage on the road. What do you make of why you guys have played so well on the road?
Well, I think to win, it's your defense, your rebounding, and keeping your turnovers down. That puts you in position to win. So. And if we keep doing what we're doing offensively, where we're creating rhythm for each other, we're going to score plenty of points. So we have to understand what goes into winning, and then how you win. And each game is different. Like like win streaks don't mean anything. This game won't mean anything in our next game. You got to start all over, put the work into preparation, and then when the ball goes up, be ready to go.
So it doesn't mean anything to you that you now have the longest winning streak in the NBA?
No.
All right, my question, Don, I was going to ask you if momentum can carry over. If you won a game with 19 lead changes and you grinded out the final seconds, I didn't know if momentum could carry over the next.
No, I just think it's obviously it's always better to win, but to think that you're going to win the next game because you have a win streak, that's usually how if you start skipping over the steps to prepare for a game, then there's gonna be slippage, and then you're gonna get knocked down. And I don't want us to get knocked down. I want us to be ready for the next game, and then when we handle that one, whatever happens, then be ready for the next. Make sure that you have your routine down, and don't allow anyone to distract you, particularly the media.
that was the most irrelevant.